A very good evening to each and every one of you, and thank you so much for tuning in to TPT Networks at Taareek Pe Taareek, and we also sweetly call it TPT. But thank you so much for staying tuned till this very moment. Okay, I am super excited to tell you, for those who've not been there on the previous episode, that this episode is an extension of the last Sunday's episode. Yes, so we have Namrata Lobo, who who joined us from Sweet Hive. She was there with us last Sunday. We had an amazing experience because she showed us a sweet recipe. But this evening, it's not going to be any more sweet. It's going to be nice and refreshing, keeping the summers in mind, keeping our temperatures at home, which are rising because of work from home scenes. I think it's time to call it cool, and I think it's time to cool down. So let me call once again Namrata on screen. She is someone who's really experienced, someone who's really good at what she does. And she's not only going to show you the recipe, but she's going to tell you why she even chose the recipe and how the ingredients can be played along with. Namrata Lobo from
Hi
Sweet Hive.
Nigel.
A very good evening, Namrata.
Good evening, Nigel.
I'm so happy to see you. Please watch the earlier video because she has amazingly explained the sweet recipe, and I want you to check it out. I do not want to give the details of the ingredients. Go and check it out yourself and tell us in that comment section how it was. So, coming back to you, Namrata, thank you
Yes.
once again for really taking the time out and for joining us once again on Taareek Pe Taareek. And as you promised us, this evening is going to be very cool. It's going to be very refreshing. So, what is the recipe that is up your sleeve for this evening?
Yes. So I think Mumbai is having scorching heat. Okay, so we are going to have a home run, I think, with the heat. So what I've chosen is our humble watermelon, which is easily available in summers and is one of the best fruit for the summers. And it
Wow.
has amazing color. So literally, it is also theater when you use watermelon. And I also have the end of season strawberries and mulberries. So what I'm going
Wow.
to do is blend them together and create a beautiful cooler that you can serve your children once they're back from playing, or you can also sip it when the men are having their social drinks. Probably the ladies can have this cooler. So this is a great recipe, and you can play around with the ingredients because uh, I'm going to use lime, but you can use mandarins, you can use any kind of pomelos or any kind of citrus fruit to give that extra kick. So during the recipe, I'll just keep telling you all where you can omit, where you can add on something. So it becomes very interesting, but keeping the basic recipe the same.
So, Namrata, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a back seat. Okay, now
Okay.
the screen is all yours, and
Okay.
you can interact with your audience right away. So, let me
Yes.
sit at the back seat. Let me see how you do this. And if
Yes.
I have any questions, come, in my mind, I'll ask you.
So here I have a juicer, okay, a juice jar, and I have watermelon with me. I have strawberries and mulberries. You can use if you are in a country where you have access to good raspberries, then amazing. Please go ahead and use raspberries. You can use blueberries. You can use even blackberries or any berries that are even native. So there are berries that are very native even to Indian communities, but they are not available for pick up in the markets. So you can use any berries that are prevalent in your areas, and you can also add. I feel you can add a very good flavor, that's kokum. So if you come from places like Konkan, and if you feel you have abundance of kokum, please use kokum. I am not lucky to have kokum here, so I'm just gonna keep them with berries and watermelon. So what I will be doing is I will add watermelon into this mixer. Add one big bowl because you want a whole jar of cooler, and I'll add the strawberries. Just remove the leaf section. Add about 3 to 4. We can add more later too. Okay, I'll add 3 for now, and I'm going to add mulberries that I found them at the market, which are great and they have a beautiful color while blended. So use these mulberries, and these are high in vitamin C, so they are fabulous. Now I am going to blend this, and when I've finished blending water of it, I'm just going to add few basil leaves. Now these basil is what is available at the market, the regular basil. You can use tulsi that is there, which is the holy basil. If you do not have that, you can also add rosemary, which is also a beautiful one. Okay, so I'll just blend a little bit and then come back and add basil into it. So when it just goes a little down, I'm going to add few leaves of basil. Okay. If you feel the content is lesser than what you expected, add more watermelon now. At this point, you can also add sugar, but I'm just refraining myself from adding extra sugar because watermelon is very, very sweet right now. Okay, so I have a beautiful color. You can see it's no longer the color of watermelon, but it's a beautiful magenta red that is from the mulberries, the strawberries. Okay, so I'm going to pour it into a shaker, your cocktail shaker. So into this, I'm also adding basil, but I'm just gonna crush them with hand because it gives amazing aromatics that are there inside basil. I'm just gonna cut them into small pieces. Now into this, to give that extra tangy flavor, I'm going to use a lime. Okay, I'm just gonna roll it. And so if you get mandarins or you get any other citrus fruits, you can use any of that. You can also use lime cordial. If you have lime cordial at home, please go ahead and use lime cordial. Now at this stage, you can make it a fusion by adding chaat masala. If you like chaat masala, you can add rock salt and make it more interesting. You can also use a little bit of achar to make it a very achari drink. So these are the different combinations that you can play with. And this is the most amazing thing about making a cooler. Now for the cooler, of course, we need ice. So I'm just going to get some. Add 5-6 cubes of ice. And we are going to shake it. So we shake it. All right. So now this drink is ready. Open it. Pour it into a nice mason jar. Okay. You can again for theater drop in few basil leaves and a slice of orange. So here is your cooler, which is amazing for the summers. and you can enjoy it any day, any time of the day. And it's a great recipe. Please do try it out. So this is it, Nigel. This cooler that's ready. It's a watermelon berry blast cooler with basil.
So
Yes,
cool. I think your taste is
I'm gonna
calling
have
for
this
more
after the show.
props. Uh, I can see, like, different props that you've been using to get to the end of the recipe, and that is amazing. I can really tell you, looking at the color, looking at your
Yes.
presentation, that no one will ever say a no to this drink. And
This
I
is
think
such
it's
an
very
amazing color that a lot of cocktails, a lot of mocktails use colored things to make the cocktail
correct.
look flashy and nice. But you see, the natural fruits give you such amazing. It's almost like a beetroot color.
Yes, yes, yes. That's exactly what I was going to tell you. It looks so much like a beetroot drink. Each and
Yes.
every ingredient that you've mentioned in this recipe is really equivalent to boosting our immunity. So this was a very amazing drink, very refreshing, Namrata. So if our viewers or our audiences of any age group want to really check out the recipe, because this
Yes.
is a sweet kick, something that you don't do usually. So where do they check it, or how do they even
So
get in touch with you?
yes. So to get in touch with me, I have my Facebook page called Sweet Hive. I have an Instagram handle called Sweet Hive underscore bakes. I also have a Facebook mentoring group called Delicious Cooking from Namrata's Kitchen, where I will put up the recipe soon. So
Okay.
you can WhatsApp me. I have a WhatsApp link on my Facebook page. You can inbox me on Messenger.
Viewers, if you are really startled at so much of data that Namrata has provided to get in touch with her, I'm going to make it very simple. You just need to check the links in the description below. I am going to put all the links to her page so you can get in touch with her. Just feel free to open up to Namrata, and she can really help you with what you are looking out for. But
Yes.
Namrata, coming back to you, I just want to thank you once again.
Thank
Started
you.
off with a sweet recipe, and now it ends up with a refreshing recipe. I mean, the
Yes.
whole week was all about Sweet Hive. It was so refreshing, and I really enjoyed talking to you. All the best to you and
Thank
your
you.
team. An amazing job done. And is there something, Namrata, that you would like to share with our audience?
What I would like to say is COVID is not going to go away soon. But what we can do is build our immunity, build our children's immunity by the food that we serve, because food is something that heals your body from within. Everything else is exterior. But food is something that heals you from within. So always be mindful of what you're putting inside your body. Make sure that everything that you eat is fresh, preservative free, and very low processed. I wouldn't say completely unprocessed food, but keep make sure that the food is kept to minimal processing. So that's all that I have to say. I think we can be indoors, be safe, and actually make good food for our family. So Taareek has new recipes, so please do try them out.
Amazing. So thank you so much, Namrata, for really speaking out your heart. Stay tuned to Taareek Pe Taareek as well. Follow and subscribe Taareek Pe Taareek as follow and subscribe Sweet Hive. Take care.
Okay,
Have a nice evening. And
thank you,
uh,
Nigel.
I really want you all to enjoy the festivities. Be home, be safe.